Hello and very warm welcome to Science Monitor, your weekly update on what's happening in the field of science, technology, research and innovation in and around the country. I am Rajya. From a new postgraduate program in electric mobility to importance of India's deep ocean mission, we have plenty in store for you, but first up, the headlines. Rapid melting of glaciers in Himalayan Karakoram region is altering supplies in the rivers. Study led by IIT Indore suggests a tiered approach to tackle the crisis. IIT Delhi launches MTech in electric mobility. The multidisciplinary program will create new opportunities for youth as well as skilled new resource for the sector. Website developed by IIT Kanpur provides daily district-wise forecast for COVID-19 in India. Using the SIR model, the researchers have constructed 3 scenarios for third wave of COVID-19 in the country. And we'll see how recently approved Deep Ocean Mission of Ministry of Earth Sciences aimed to strengthen India's blue economy besides studying impact of climate change. Well, the news in details now. The Himalayan Karakoram region is one of the most heavily glaciered mountain regions on the earth, and glacier melts from this region provides ample water supply to rivers like Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. Now, a study led by IIT Indore has studied and assessed the impact of climate change on this delicate relationship. The study has found that the rapid melting of snow and glaciers is altering water supplies in the rivers, and this could lead to serious problems in the future. The researchers have also suggested a tiered approach to deal with the crisis. Let's see the detailed report.
The Himalaya Karakoram range of South Asia has the most glaciers, and that's why it is called the Water Tower of Asia, or the Third Pole. But climate change is having an adverse effect on this region too. In such a situation, it is very important to understand the response of water resources that originate from this mountainous region and cater to about 1 billion people. As part of this effort to create a better understanding, a research team led by Dr. Mohammad Farooq Azam, Assistant Professor, Indian Institute of Technology, Indore, has conducted a comprehensive study. The research, supported by an INSPIRE Fellowship from the Department of Science and Technology, identifies gaps in understanding the impact of climate change and outlines possible solutions to address these gaps. The research gathered results from more than 250 research papers to arrive at a more accurate understanding of the links between global warming, precipitation change, and glacier shrinkage. The study shows that the ice and glaciers in the Himalaya Karakoram range are melting rapidly, thereby altering the water supply in rivers like the Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra.
Glaciers are a direct indicator of climate change. In the Himalayas, only few glaciers are under observations. In order to understand the impact of climate change on Himalayan glaciers, scientists observe high altitude meteorology, glacier mass balance, change in its glacier ice thickness and dynamics, as well as glacier hydrology. With increasing recent attention of scientific community, the understanding about Himalayan glaciers has increased swiftly. However, this understanding remains poor compared to other mountain ranges of the world.
According to this research paper published in the journal Science under the title Glacial-Hydrology of the Himalaya Karakoram, total river runoff, glacier melt and seasonality of flow in these rivers are projected to increase until the 2050s, with some exceptions and large uncertainties. Since the melting glaciers fulfill the water requirements of these rivers, people will be affected when much of the glacier ice mass melts throughout the century and gradually stops supplying the required amount of water. To avoid this scenario, policymakers need to assess the current status and possible future changes of rivers for sustainable water resource management for agriculture, hydropower, drinking water, sanitation and hazard situations.
Now it is clear that Himalayan glaciers are losing mass, which is consistent with global warming. However, glacier shrinkage rates are not uniform along the Himalayan range because climate varies from one location to other. And in order to understand the impact of climate change on the whole Himalayan range, we need to select more glaciers for observation from different climatic regimes in the Himalaya. And such local studies are also important for the development of large-scale models for future glacier evolution as well as runoff evolution.
The research team has recommended a stepwise strategy to address the identified gaps. This includes an expanded observation network that places fully automatic weather stations on selected glaciers. They also suggest developing comparison projects to examine glacier area and volumes, glacier dynamics, permafrost thaw, and snow and ice sublimation. The next phase recommends the implementation of the knowledge from these studies in detailed models of glacier hydrology to reduce the uncertainty in projections of future change.
Ensuring smooth electric mobility is an important measure to reduce the impact of global warming and climate change. And to provide trained and highly skilled manpower for this sector, IIT Delhi has now launched a new postgraduate program in electric mobility. The MTech course is being offered by Institute's Center for Automotive Research and Tribology, or CART. This program will provide the students with better opportunities in fast-growing electric vehicle industry. Here is a Science Monitor's report.
Electric vehicles are gaining a lot of traction with an increased need for environmental protection all over the world. In India too, the use of these vehicles is being promoted at the national level under many government schemes. This rapidly emerging new industry requires expertise in multiple disciplines of engineering. The Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi's Center for Automotive Research and Tribology, CART, has now launched an MTech program in electric mobility. Under this program, starting from the 2021-22 academic session, engineering graduates will be given training in engineering related to electric vehicles. This will not only create new opportunities for the youth, but also create skilled human resource for the manufacturing sector of environment-friendly vehicles. Candidates with 4 years bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, mechanical engineering, industrial engineering, production engineering, mechatronics, automobile, manufacturing science or engineering, and GATE qualified in either electrical engineering or mechanical engineering or production and industrial engineering disciplines will be eligible to apply for the 2-year master's degree program in electric mobility to be offered by IIT Delhi. Apart from these, candidates sponsored by various industries, educational institutions or government organizations can also enroll for the course.
We are taking 20 students as full-time students and 10 students we are taking from industry to boost up the industry collaboration. So the industry can sponsor their engineer, they can come and take this particular program, and at the end both the industry participant as well as the student academia, they can go and do a project in the industry. They are open to do the project in the industry, they are open to do a project here, and the beauty is if they are offering to do and go and do a project in the industry, so I hope that is the most opportunity to have the industry academia interaction to understand their problem and try to solve their problem jointly.
The new MTech program is multidisciplinary in nature and will cover key aspects related to electric vehicles, drivetrain, chargers and charging infrastructure, battery energy storage systems, battery management system, reusability of energy storage elements, reliability, automotive health monitoring, automotive NVH, vehicle dynamics, autonomous and connected vehicles, vehicular telematics, and materials for electric vehicle, along with hands-on practice and design in laboratories. Depending on the expertise developed during the M.Tech studies, the students may apply for jobs in various industries pertaining to electric vehicle OEMs, automotive industry, battery, manufacturing units, BMS industry, e-motor design and manufacturing industry, converter and inverter industry and EV chargers industry.
As the government agencies are pushing this electric vehicle, so we as academic institute, this is our prime job also to create the manpower for that particular one. There are industry who are manufacturer of this electric vehicle. There are industry, those who are manufacturing the battery. There are industry who are manufacturing the motor, different type of motor, motor controller. Even if forget about everything, a small connector also, because that is also an important issue. So that's why I think once the student will graduated from this, they will get enough opportunity.
Keeping in view the need of the hour, the new master's program has been designed in collaboration with leading professionals from academia and industry. CART is already involved in high-level research and development in the field of battery-powered vehicles, hybrid electric vehicles, storage and alternative energy sources. In such a situation, M.Tech students will get an opportunity to work with the state-of-the-art laboratory, simulation facilities that will help them realize their new ideas and enhance their potential.
Well, now it's time for a short break. Stay with us. We'll be back with more reports.
Bhul Bhulaiya, a labyrinth of hundreds of narrow stairway passages, is a significant and historical component of what you popularly know as Bara Imambara. Some of these narrow stairways have dead ends, some end at precipitous drops, while others lead to entrance or exit points. Historically, Bhul Bhulaiya was constructed to confuse the enemy intruder, and the narrow lanes of the labyrinth can make anyone feel lost. The structure contains various strategically built hollows in the corridors.
Welcome back. You're watching Science Monitor. Well, the second wave of COVID-19 seems to be waning, but already there are concerns about more dangerous third wave that could come soon. In view of this, scientists at Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur have developed a mathematical model to forecast COVID-19 wave. Using the SRI model, the researchers have constructed 3 scenarios for third wave of COVID in India. The researchers have also developed a dedicated website based on model to provide district-wise information about the disease. Here is a report.
The coronavirus infection does not seem to be ending yet. In view of the prevailing situation, experts have warned of a more severe third wave. After the devastation caused by the second wave, it is natural for people to worry about if and when this third wave will come and how it will affect their lives. A team of researchers led by Professor Mahindra Verma and Professor Rajesh Ranjan of the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, have been continuously monitoring the coronavirus pandemic and have also prepared a mathematical model of coronavirus wave forecast using detailed data of the second wave. They have made the results available to the public via a website developed by them. On the website covid19forecast.org, district-wise details of the coronavirus infection, its impact, mortality and end stage can be checked. Based on this mathematical model, the scientists have predicted when the third wave will come.
We actually use the data from the second wave to make predictions for the third wave. Now the main assumption there is that we take the unlocking date on 15th of July. And 15th July we have the situation like it was in January. So with that, if we consider the epidemic parameters from the second wave, we find the peak to happen around in October. Now we simulate a second situation where we increase the reproduction number, that is the virus mutates and it becomes more and more infectious. So when we increase the reproduction number by 5%, we find that the peak comes early, around September, and the peak height is much higher than the second wave. And then we simulate a third scenario where we basically decrease the reproduction number by 5%, and that is to take a situation where the people comply with the COVID protocols much stricter than what they were doing in January. And what we see that the peak comes much late in November, and the peak height is also much smaller than the second wave.
In the context of a third wave of COVID-19, this SIR model observes the current infection status, comparison of previous year and this year's peaks, daily case fatality rate and daily testing data. Vaccination data, which may make the results more positive, has not yet been added to this model.
We should try to go to the scenario 3, which is like the peak happening in November. So we can utilize this time from current period until the November to vaccinate as many people as we can, and that will definitely help us in lowering the peak.
The model prepared by the IIT scientists provide accurate information about coronavirus infection to the general public. Based on the data, the public can prepare prevention techniques after assessing the situation properly. However, in light of this forecast and according to what experts say, it is important that we are extremely careful even as unlocking begins so that the infection can be eliminated completely. Carelessness on our part can make the third wave even more lethal than anticipated.
Well, the ambitious Deep Ocean mission of Ministry of Earth Science was approved last week by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. The endeavour will be a mission mode project to support the blue economy initiative of the Government of India and will be implemented in a phased manner. The mission will not only provide social and economic benefits for current and future generations, but also unravel the deepest mysteries of the ocean as a result of scientific quest.
Oceans cover about 70% of the Earth's surface. And despite all the time we have spent exploring, we have just covered about 5% of the deep ocean, and the rest remains unexplored. As the resources on Earth deplete and the danger of deteriorating the natural balance increases, scientists have started working on finding alternatives in the deepest depths of the oceans. The world's oceans have always been the basis of life on Earth, in the form of climatic reserves with fisheries, aquaculture, trade and tourism, and transport. Their depths are also a store of unknown wealth like minerals which are important for human life and may come in handy in the long run. Keeping this in mind, the United Nations has declared the decade from 2021 to 2030 as the decade of ocean science for sustainable development. India is one of the few countries that have been undertaking ocean missions in their bid for sustainable development for a long time. The cost of the mission has been estimated at 4,077 crore rupees over a 5-year period and will be implemented in phases. The estimated cost for the first phase for 3 years is 2,823.4 crore rupees. Oceans contribute 5% to global GDP and provide livelihood to 350 million people. Using ocean resources for economic growth and improved livelihoods while preserving the health of the oceans is called blue economy, which is now being given a lot of emphasis. About 30% of India's population lives in the coastal areas along the country's 7,517-kilometer long coastline and largely depends on these oceans for livelihood. This makes India's blue economy mission vital. The Deep Ocean Mission will only strengthen this. The 6 main components of the Deep Ocean Mission include development of technologies for deep-sea mining and manned submersible, development of ocean climate change advisory services, technological innovations for exploration and conservation of deep sea biodiversity, deep ocean survey and exploration, energy and fresh water from the ocean, and advanced marine station for ocean biology. Under the objectives of the Deep Ocean Mission, the study and survey of minerals present below 6,000 meters in the sea will be done. Potential sites of minerals such as multi-metal hydrothermal sulfides in the mid-oceanic ridges of the Indian Ocean will be explored and identified. Climate change and the rise in sea level, including deep sea changes, will also be studied. Bioprospecting of deep sea flora and fauna, including microorganisms, and sustainable use of deep sea bioresources will be studied. Currently, only America, Russia, France, Japan and China are capable of such a campaign. India will be the sixth country in the world to undertake a deep ocean mission and will have to develop the technology itself. Therefore, under this campaign that is to be completed in 2 phases, along with the development of ocean technology, skilled human resource in marine biology and marine engineering will also be created. The country's leading institutions and private industries will get a new opportunity in the development of indigenous technology that is required for mining in the oceans. The development of small and medium enterprises and startups will be accelerated due to the establishment of necessary infrastructure for the design, development, and construction of equipment and ships. This will lead to increased employment opportunities. That is why this is a huge step towards building a self-reliant India with a blue economy.
Well, time for another short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a while.
Rabindranath Tagore was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for his book Gitanjali. In 1950, he composed the music and lyrics for India's national anthem Jana Gana Mana. And when Bangladesh became independent in 1971, they chose Tagore's song Amar Shonar Bangla as its national anthem. Tagore's life and works have made him a cultural icon, studied the world over, even into the 21st century.
Welcome back. You're watching Science Monitor. And now let's take a look at some more recent activities happening in the field of science and technology in our special segment, Science Express.
Indian researchers have developed a mathematical method for quantifying and measuring the accuracy of the performance of yoga asanas. The study was carried out in the Biomechanics Lab of the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, with the support of Science and Technology for Yoga and Meditation, or SATYAM, a research program conceptualized by the Department of Science and Technology. As part of this research, 60 healthy participants, including men and women in the age group of 21 to 60 years, were assessed for 2 years. This mathematical method based on electromyography, the diagnostic procedure that evaluates muscle health and paves the way for understanding the accuracy of asana performance and making appropriate improvements. Developed in collaboration with experts from several other institutes, this allows people practicing yoga to improve their methods and performance. The research has recently been published in the International Journal of Yoga. In a major achievement in the field of science, 100% sequencing of the human genome has been completed. The human gene code was first cracked 20 years ago, and now scientists have finally completed human genome sequencing. In 2001, Celera Genomics, and International Human Genome Sequencing published the first draft of the human genome. It was a breakthrough moment in genomics, helping scientists better understand human evolution and biology. But scientists at that time were unable to decode 15% of the genome sequence because they did not have the technology. Now, researchers from Telomere to Telomere Consortium, an international collaboration, have sequenced the first truly complete human reference genome. This is the beginning of a new era of genomics that will rapidly increase our understanding of the different types of disorders affecting people. It may also lead to better genetic screening that enables quick and specific diagnostic tests to treat various maladies. In order to promote the use of clean energy and electric vehicles, development of more efficient batteries is essential, and work is constantly being done in this direction, and new technology is being developed every day. Researchers from the Hyderabad-based International Advanced Research Center for Powder Metallurgy and New Materials have now developed a new technique of carbon coating on lithium metal oxide electrodes. This method can double the life of a battery. The other methods used earlier have been less effective and quite expensive. In ARCI's method, a carbon precursor is trapped in between the transition metal hydroxide layers to minimize the reaction with oxygen even when heat-treated in the air during solid-state synthesis. The use of these electrode materials is expected to double the life of lithium-ion cells due to the safe carbon coating. The European Space Agency has invited applications for Space App Camp 2021. 25 committed mobile app developers and specialists in artificial intelligence and machine learning related to observing Earth from space will be selected for the virtual camp. Candidates can send in their applications for this 10th Space App Camp before July the 8th. This time the camp will be an online event to be organized from the 20th of July to September the 20th. ESA invites app developers and experts from around the world every year to develop applications for smartphones or personal devices based on Earth observation data and services collected by agencies that can be used by ordinary citizens. This 10th edition of the camp will be the first time that an enhanced mentorship program will be offered. It involves a comprehensive learning and mobile software development scheme. The winners will be rewarded with cash prizes of up to 2,500 euros and a unique Earth observation support package to allow them to continue working on their winning app idea.
Well, that's it in today's edition of Science Monitor. You can also send us a feedback and suggestions through email. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write to us at Vigyan Prasar, 5th floor, Prithvi Bhavan, Lodhi Road, New Delhi 3. Well, we'll take your leave. See you again next week. Till then, stay safe and think scientifically. Goodbye.